Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about why you can't afford to wait to retire.
Yeah, this is a really important topic because a lot of people wait too long to retire and they miss out on so much because they do that. And so this is why you can't afford to wait, and there's some really good reasons why you should definitely not wait to retire if you want to do any traveling whatsoever. And we recently did a video a couple weeks back on travel insurance, and we did a video talking about Safety Wing, which is the insurance that we do have. And a lot of the comments that we got on the video were from people who were over 70 and they were looking to get travel insurance for themselves. And they commented, well, you can't get this particular insurance that we were talking about because it's only offered to people under 70. And one of the things they mentioned a lot in the comments was, I'm looking for travel insurance that covers people over 70, that also covers pre-existing conditions. And I was reading those comments and I was like, that just does not exist. Like, that does not happen. If you think about it, it's a business. Most businesses are not going to want to cover people in their mid-70s and cover their pre-existing conditions. That would just be a way to lose money really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, the cost would be insane in order for them to cover you, so it really isn't going to be worth it anyways. Even if they did offer it, the cost would have to be so high, the monthly fee, that it would just, negate the fact that they're even offering it. So I think it's just something that, you need to realize is that you've got to run those numbers, and it's not favorable for the insurance companies to do that.
Yeah, I think someone commented on another one of our videos, and I think they were 79 or 80, and they said, I looked at all the insurances and I've decided to self-insure because I don't think I'm the target audience they're looking for. And he kind of got it. I was like, yeah, that's true. They would have to price these plans at $5,000 a month per person, and nobody would buy them. So they don't even offer them because the cost would just be so high. People get lulled to sleep by the fact that government insurance programs like the ones you get in the US or that you get in Canada, they do include pre-existing conditions. You can't be excluded for that, and it doesn't matter your age either. But those are not private companies offering that. Those are government subsidized things, and the numbers just don't work out if you ask a private company to do that. So the bottom line here is, it is very difficult to get insurance for traveling and being able to roam around the world after you reach the age of 70. At that point of your life, you're better off being in one or two places or having found some cheaper countries where you can self-insure. Because look, healthcare is not expensive in most of these countries we're in. We have a video on the channel where Allie went and had major surgery in Malaysia last year, was in the hospital for several days, and the bill came to about $4,000, and you had a pretty extensive time there.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that not only was my surgery covered, I was in a private room in the hospital for 5 days, 4 nights, included the surgery, everything that went with it. You get an itemized bill just like you do in the US of every single pill they gave you, every glove they used while treating you, everything included. All my scans, CT, MRI, like everything was included in there. They even sent me home with medication, and we still didn't meet. At the time, we had a different insurance, and it had a $5,000 deductible, everything included, and we still didn't meet the $5,000 deductible. It was less.
Yeah, so there are places you can go do this. Once you figured out where those are, they're mostly in Southeast Asia, Mexico, some Latin American countries. You can actually just self-insure pretty easily, because if you've been saving up money towards that, you can put a little aside each year, not pay a premium, and just set that aside and pay for your bills. That will work. What you can't do easily once you get to be 70 is roam around the world and go through, 3 months in Europe, and then go through Africa, and go to South America, and then go to Australia. It's going to be very difficult to have insurance cover you under that circumstance. So the world does kind of start to shrink for you if you're concerned about healthcare, and a lot of people are concerned about healthcare. And so what we're saying is, if you wait until you're 70 to retire and then you want to go see the world, it's going to be more difficult than if you do it when you're 50 or 60, because you can easily get insurance when you're 50 and 60, and it's great insurance that you can travel the world with.
Yeah, I think that's such an important thing to consider, and why we think it's important that you can't afford to wait to retire, because it is something that you have to think about. It's something that has to be included in a retirement plan of some sort, and you have to have a plan. You can't just, go willy-nilly out into the world not knowing what you can and cannot do. You have to have a plan in place, and that's one of the things that you could take advantage of when you're younger, is you can get insurance plans, and you can, have all kinds of things taken care of early on, so that, you don't have all those problems later on.
And what's amazing is that just in the last few years, actually this year, new insurance products are coming out all the time. And we actually signed up for this product from SafetyWing a few months ago, and they are the sponsor of today's video. But we did buy this policy on our own before we even talked to them, and it just fit everything we wanted to do, because it's travel and nomad insurance in the same ball. You get repatriation, you're getting baggage delays, you're getting to go to doctors, your surgeries, dental, and there is no deductible for this. So it's such a big savings over a normal insurance product. And the way they do this is because they figured out that insurances or healthcare is cheaper once you leave the U.S. So it is limited coverage while you're in the U.S., but what you're paying for in a normal insurance program is you're paying to be insured in the high price system that the U.S. offers. So you can do this so much cheaper, and SafetyWing so far has been amazing coverage for us, and we love knowing the fact that no matter what doctor we go to, it's going to be covered. We love the fact that there's no deductible, because where they get you normally is they'll give you a high deductible, and then you'll go into a place here in Southeast Asia for coverage or for treatment, and it's like a $70 bill. Well, you're not going to get that reimbursed ever. So with SafetyWing you do, so that makes it so much better for people, and it's really tailored to the people who are traveling full-time or part-time. And people, there's different plan types where you can get one where it's complete, or just for people who are taking shorter trips. So they really have thought of ways to make this work for everyone.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things, which is the reason why we switched from what we had before when I had my hospital visit to SafetyWing, is because they actually listened. We had looked at SafetyWing before, and it just didn't really quite fit. They weren't quite there, and they reformulated everything, repackaged it all, and actually made it work. It's incredible to think that an insurance company would actually listen to what we all had to say about it, and they did something, they tailored something just for people doing what we're doing, which blew my mind.
Yeah, so that was very, very good. And I think, for us, we're in our early 50s, and so we have quite a bit of time before these types of insurance companies will stop covering us. We're going to use those, but I think by the time we get to be 70, maybe there'll be other products out there for that. Maybe not. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 15 years. But if there aren't, we'll already know where we can live and just pay cash for things, because there are plenty of places. We've already been to the doctors, like we've been in hospitals in foreign countries, and we know these things. But you need to get out there and learn this stuff and do this while you can still get covered, because you don't want to start out at 72, 74 and start out like, well, I have no knowledge, now I'm going to start traveling the world and I don't know where I can go, and it really limits you. Like that age 70 is the magic age where you're limited. So if you're in your early 60s, you need to think about getting out there soon. The longer you wait, the less options you're going to have to be able to explore and to be able to figure things out.
Yeah, I think this is such a key factor because it is something that is going to come into play once you hit the road, even if you do it at our age. It is something that starts to, it adds up at the end of the day. And as you get older, it's more and more things. And you really want to basically include this as putting your ducks in a row before you retire. And it's why you can't wait, because the earlier you go, the better, because you can have all of the experiences, you can do all the stuff when you're in better health, and then that way, you can start to calculate where you can be, where when you do start having health issues and you have the experience of having been in all of these different countries, and just be able to have those as options.
Yeah, so we did read the comments on that last video. We did think about it, but there is just really, I think the answer to everybody's question is, we got a lot of questions saying, well, what insurance do you know of that I could get if I'm over 70 and I need pre-existing conditions covered? You basically have to stay home. I mean, that's the answer. If you're a U.S. citizen, you got to stay in the U.S. If you're Canadian, you got to stay in Canada, and that's the sad truth of it. But that is the truth of it. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, because it's such an expensive thing to cover that age range outside of the country while they're moving around the world. So yeah, definitely get out there before you hit 70. Do this, and you will find places where you can then self-insure later in life. They are out there, and they are amazing, but you got to do it before you get to that age.
Yeah, so this is probably one of the biggest things to consider, and why you can't wait to retire is taking care of your health and everything that encompasses with this. Guys, you have questions, leave those for us down in the comment section. Maybe it'll become a video like this one. Just leave that down in the comment section for us if you enjoyed the video. Give us a like and consider subscribing to the channel. We'll see you guys next time.